to another live feed on my Sharman's YouTube channel. Welcome back, welcome back. Continue on to count down the marathon. The top 50 true race MCs, according to Kool, a book that he wrote over 20 years ago. We're going to continue with number 30, Scarface. He had Scarface at number 30. Imagine life at its full peak. Then imagine lying dead in the arms of your enemy. Imagine peace on this earth. There's no grief. Imagine grief on this earth and there's no peace. Everybody's got a different way of ending it. When your number comes for souls, then they send it in. Now your time has arrived for your final test. See the fear in your eyes and hear you find your breath, burning breath. How much longer will it be till it's done? Told Douglas at ease, be it all one. I watch him dying when he dies. Let us celebrate. He took his life, but your memory he'll never take. You'll be headed to another place. The life you used to live will reflect in your mother's face. I still gotta wonder why. I never seen a man cry till I seen a man die. Whether you know it or not, whether you know it or not, Scarface was the precursor to Tupac. You listen to the early work of Scarface. When he was with the Ghetto Boys, you will see that he fathered the kids that Tupac made famous. Scarface like the godfather of dirty South hip hop. Before Scarface, the South was known for mighty bass and a crunk sounds. These were musically dominated dance sounds that never focused on lyrics beyond call and response chants. Scarface changed all of that. He was the standout MC in the Ghetto Boys. When the 1971 breakthrough hit, Mine Clean Chips on Me, hit the streets. Scarface was one of the most talked about MCs of that year. He was beginning to be mentioned in the same breath as Ice Cube in the DOC. Like with Ice Cube, the word on the street was Scarface was the writer behind the concepts. This gave him another level of credibility. Although his group was seen by me as a Texas version of NWA, Scarface seemed to show a little more than just the hardcore street lyrics. He seemed to have a knack for storytelling. But when he went solo, the other group members also had solo projects, like the Wu-Tang, but pre-Wu-Tang. They still made albums together while doing their solo projects. Although the group had some success together, Scarface ultimately had the most success. Neither of the other members see like Scarface. This was due in part to Scarface's side of the street. Following, Scarface was viewed as a hustler turned rapper. Yo, that's considered a true success story. The streets love to see people get out of the game, and they always support the artists that can make that happen. To me, the background is neither here nor there. What matters is talent. The Scarface had it. Knew I had it. All course rhyme capabilities, but I didn't know how funny it was until I heard the song Serial Killer. Based on the president said, I was waiting to hear a lyrical bloodbath. Instead, I got once upon a time at the Honeycomb Hideout. Sugar Bear and Mikey sat alone getting fried out. Lucky walked in with that blank named Bryce Wayne, pulled out a knot and turned it a dice game. Lucky looked at Mikey and said with a smile, "Where's the silly rabbit? I ain't seen him in a while." Mikey turned to Lucky, shook his head because he ain't know. Probably drinking with this blank from some rocky road named Cheerio. This is exactly why I call Scarface the Southpaw. In boxing, Southpaw is very hard for most fighters to fight because he fights left-handed. This gives the conventional fighter much harder angles to figure out. Scarface is a hardcore MC that gives you many angles, which makes him hard to figure out. Sometimes he's ruthless and sometimes he's compassionate. This also was a precursor for Tupac. In 1994, Scarface hit what to me is his apex. I seen a man die. This is what I call melancholy mastery. It showed Scarface's poetic prowess, solidified him as one of the best storytellers in hip hop. Scarface is like a gully ghetto reality, telling stories from the streets to the streets. He's been able to maintain his respected status for over 10 years. Sold millions of records without much radio play. He was also a pioneer of one of the first MC CEO co-owners of his own label. Scarface has impacted the game in many ways. Apparently, as an MC, as far as that goes, he's definitely one of the favorites. Like so, Kumo D said about Scarface, for his strengths are concerned, his rhyme cadence. His cadence is perfect for the street style of storytelling, and he does. Weakness was limited subject matter, fails to really stray outside of elements of hood life. Seen a Man Die, Cricket Officer, Ghetto Boys, The Diary, Favorite, LP. Scarface originality, just a matter of timing. Scarface came at a time when he was immediately being compared to NWA, but I do think he set the tone for the case that Tupac used. For concepts, 85, Never Seen a Man Cry, that says it all. But still, he's 70. For the most part, Scarface comes at you and does the same thing. You know what you're getting 9 times out of 10. He keeps it straight at you and keeps against it. 70 vocabulary, doesn't be drunk, vocabulary tones, the lyrics down, comes at you and brings a message. 85 for substance, Scarface seems to always ride for the hood. He makes records from the streets, for the streets. He adds a little more than just a gangster rap to the equation. Flow 80. He keeps it consistent in that you at the level where you can follow what he says. He's not trying to lose you. He's trying to convey his point. And number 75, flavor is not about playing games. He adds his own flavor to it. He does put his own stamp on it, but he's not doing a lot with his voice. 70, freestyle ability. So it always seems like an MC who's not in it for the fun of the game. He's in it to make money, and he's in it for a purpose. Freestyle is not his forte. Vocal presence, 80. You know his voice when you hear him. The southern slang without being too southern within the equation. 80, live performance. He comes across pretty cool with his records. His records are not, he does design for the show. He brings them across in a cool manner. 80, poetic value. He's a little more poetic than the average gangster MC. Body of work. 85, even without loud radio hits. Stuff from the Ghetto Boys. Through, you can't take away the work he did in the Ghetto Boys. 75, industry impact. He sells records, doesn't get the big pop records or accolades. Social impact, 80. He all but put Houston and Southern rap on the map. That has to be recognized because it's definitely a force in the game. Scarface to follow that. 100 for longevity, 10 years of counting. 85 lyrics. He's not a conventional lyricist. He's more of a storyteller, but he's a proficient storyteller in the lyrical sense. He has substance and purpose behind what he's saying. 70, Battles Heals. Scarface seems like he'd rather get violent with you before he battle you. A lot of his rhymes are geared towards battle, but you can hear it based on what he's bringing on the MC side. Doesn't seem to be his thing, but he could if he had to. So 1,350 total score and average score 79.4. All right, so that's it. We'll look at Scarface at number 30. Come back. Be back. Number 29. Till then, talk to you soon.